Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors and Winston Chester. Glad you're here this morning. Got a great show lined up, some special guests here in the studio. But first, our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin Road and Highway 77. They have all kind of programs over there. Got a great nursing program over there, a great welding shop, body repair, all kind of stuff. I'm talking about body, and that'll be car bodies, okay? And all kind of stuff. Run by and check out some of the programs they do. Now today's going to be a high of 84, and the actual low is going to be 71. We're hoping it's going to get back in the 60s, but actually only low would be 71. The water temperature, we talk about it every day, is still around 81, but keep in mind it's dropped. The water temperature has dropped 4 degrees in 8 days, so that's a substantial drop. So that's important. Let's take a look at our river readings. The Apalachicola at Bluntstown, the big river, is actually, after all this rain we had, is actually dropping, but you know that's completely controlled by that dam up there in Chattahoochee, the Jim Woodruff Dam. It's actually going to read, it's at a 1.4, folks. It's going to be close to zero, seriously, in a day or two. That's amazing to get that low. Now the Choctahatchee at Caryville, and I was anticipating a big bump because you saw yesterday's river reading. They had it shooting up, but they readjusted their reading, and it's at a 3.0 right now. It may get up to 3.2, and we'll know a lot more about it when we get tomorrow's river readings, but that's interesting. Okay, our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. You're looking on your screen there. It's October the 1st. Can you believe that? Good strong tides. We have a high tide at 2:30 this morning and a low tide right after lunch at 1:45. Now, for all you folks who's going to be fishing those tournaments this weekend, or just fishing in general, go ahead and start looking at Saturday's tides. We have some really strong tides right around the middle of the day. So the rest of this week is really strong tides, and it's going to be a great weekend for fishing. So we're all looking forward to that. Marine forecast be south-southeast at about 5 to 10. Now, with it being October 1st, you always sort of look at the calendar. If you're like me, you look at the whole month calendar at the first of the month and see what's coming. I was sort of jotting down some notes this morning just for the show and all, and I already have a lot of neat things planned. I have some guests coming from the Forest Service next Monday. I have lady bass anglers coming on to talk about the lady bass tournaments. Of course, at school, all the schools in the Panhandle will be having some kind of fall break. We used to have a week-long one here in Bay County, but now it's only like a little 2-day fall break. You can tell when that happened several years back, I told my buddies, I said, you can tell whatever committee out of the office put that fall break together had no outdoorsmen on that committee, because October is such a great outdoors month. It would be nice to have that. Also, Highland Park Baptist Church is having their Wild Beast Feast in a couple of weeks. We'll talk about that. The Apalachicola Seafood Festival is always the first weekend in November. Those folks are coming over, and I'm going to be down there at the Seafood Festival selling my book. That'll be some exciting things. Dove season going on. October, you always got to cut some firewood in October. Fishing tournaments going on. So all kind of stuff. And as always, our advertisers support us. So if you have anybody who maybe want to advertise on the show, get back with me, and I'll be glad to talk to them. All right, we're going to take our first break and come back with our special guest. All right, welcome back, and our first students of the month for this school year. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and I'm just tickled to have them.
I'm Hannah Stevens. My mom is Sherry Stevens. My dad's John Stevens. I love being in the outdoors, doing anything, fishing, hunting when I can.
Okay, that's great.
And I'm Harris Marshall. My parents are Scott and Stacy Marshall, and I've been around the woods and the water ever since I can remember.
And Harris has a unique distinction. He's the second one in his family that's come on. And tell us about your brother being on.
Yeah, my brother Brant Marshall. He's really one of my best friends, my best fishing buddy, my best hunting buddy. So we do a lot of things together outside.
But also, I want to go ahead and I have a tradition of doing this. My first guests each year are the ones that's elected by their peers as the president and vice president of the Outdoor Ed Club. And Harris was elected our president this year, and Hannah was our vice president. So that always speaks well when your peers elected those offices. Y'all excited about that?
Yes,
I'm
sir.
really excited. Yeah.
All right. What was y'all's secret to winning the election? Harris, what was yours?
You know, I don't really know.
I'll tell you. I'm gonna tell you what it was. It's the respect they have from their fellow students. That's what it is. Because it's a really, when you run for this office of this club, we have about 100 seniors a member of the club, and you just can't be anybody walk in the door. You got to have the respect from your classmates. So I always admire my officers when they get elected and all. So, how long you been doing outdoor stuff?
Pretty much ever since I was a little girl. I was kind of my daddy's little girl, so he took me everywhere he went, hunting, fishing.
All right. What about this picture right here? Where was this?
That was at my old house on Coral Drive, just fishing off our dock with my daddy. He's in the back.
Did y'all catch anything that day?
Probably some little fish. I don't really remember that day.
Okay. I'm gonna later on. I'm gonna ask you some questions about what kind of big fish you caught, but I won't ask that right now. We'll do Hannah's pictures first. Okay. Tell us about this one right here.
That is me at my Nana's old house at her pond that she had in her yard in Slocum, Alabama. Just catching little fishes.
Slocum? So
Slocum, Alabama.
You got some kin folks up there in Alabama?
I do, Dothan mainly.
Dothan?
Mm-hmm.
We got kin folks up there. We might be kin to each other.
We might be. I hope so.
All right, tell us about this one right here. That looks like fun. Not yet?
Me and my daddy, once again at our old house.
Okay, where y'all fishing? Where y'all fishing there? Is that a river or a pond?
Oh, it's a canal.
Canal?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, how did you get that name right there?
I'm not quite
Not
sure.
yet? All right, and then we'll show you about one more. Tell us about this.
Me and my Nana again, my sweet little Nana.
You know, I think that's a big fish right there.
Yeah.
You caught that one?
That's a good sized brim right there.
That's a big one. That's out of her pond or something?
Yes, sir.
In Slocum.
Yes, sir.
You know, I think that place looks familiar. I think I passed by there.
You probably have.
Okay. Now, Hannah, what's your favorite kind of fishing? Is it freshwater brim fishing or going out in the bay or?
I don't really go out and I don't fish like Harris does, but probably.
Well, now Harris is a fanatic.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk compared to him, but I don't.
As long as whatever's at the end of the line. That's always a good answer. Your favorite kind of
right
fishing.
There.
Remember that one. Okay. Let's look at some. Harris, go and tell us what your favorite fishing is before we look at your pictures.
You know, my favorite type of fishing really revolves around the type of the year, you know. Like this time of year right now, we like to go offshore, do some bottom fishing, a little bit of trolling here and there, but springtime comes rolling around, I like to go bass fishing on the lake and everything, and, you know, it's always good to get on the flats and catch a redfish too, so I kind of do it all. Yeah,
he's exactly right on doing those kind of things. We're talking about so many times about revolving around the season, what's going on, and you catch fish when they're biting, and that's really what you do.
Yes, sir.
Let's take a break, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Glad you're with us this morning. Sit here with Hannah and Harris. I guess we'll call this a Hannah and Harris show this morning. But I'm trying to get Hannah to smile a little bit. It's hard to get her to smile. A quick announcement here. I mentioned this the other day. Just want to remind you, a hunter safety internet completion course over there in Franklin and Wakulla County also. It's going to be October 10th and 11th, and from 6 to 10 on the 10th and 8 a.m. on the 11th. So make sure you take advantage of that. Also, Hannah, while we're thinking of it, let's add these names. We have some people enter the contest and also call out the names.
Lori Jernigan from Bonifay.
Okay. All right.
Joey Jernigan from Bonifay.
Okay.
And David Dykes from Sunny Hills.
All right. So we all entered in there, and every Friday now, for you folks just watching the show, every Friday we give away a $20 gift certificate to Tarpon Rock Seafood for the first prize, and second prize is a big red snapper every Friday. All right. Now, let's look at some of your pictures, Harris. Tell us about this one here.
This picture right here is actually my first ever deer. It's me and my dad there, and the story behind that is he took me hunting the first time. I think I was 6 years old, and I actually shot a little 6-point. I'll never forget it. And I was shooting a .243, and I shot and I missed, and the scope it busted my eye.
Oh no!
I know that feeling.
I was scared of a scope after that, so I actually shot my first deer the next season with iron sights.
You didn't want to shoot a scope anymore, did you?
I didn't want to shoot a rifle with a scope on it.
Now, so you were 7 years old?
I was 7 years old, yes sir.
That's cool. That's a great That's up at the family farm. Is that where that was?
Yes, sir. Up there in Wausau.
Okay. They got a nice place up there in Wausau. I went over that turkey hunting, I guess with your Uncle Mickey.
Yes, sir.
And that was, okay, now, tell us about this next picture here. This is a good one.
This picture was actually my first buck, and
That's a nice buck.
And yes, sir. I shot that deer at Moody's farm right there off Highway 231. Mr. J. Moody hooked me up with that one, and just real fortunate to be able to go up there and hunt, and actually shot my first buck up there.
Oh, that is neat. Okay. And this one right here, that's a big buck there. You're a little bit older now. You got your scope back, I see.
Yes, sir.
You finally got brave again, huh?
Yes, sir. And that deer right there, it was actually the last day of duck season, and me and my brother, we decided to go shoot ducks for one last time. So we were hunting up in our little duck pond up there in the woods, and I just got that black powder gun for Christmas, and I figured, we didn't kill very many birds that morning. It was like 7:30, so we got out of the duck pond and we walked down to the edge of one of our food plots we have up there at the farm, and that buck was standing out there, and my brother was behind me, and I told him about it, and he didn't believe me. And so I laid down on my stomach with that bipod right there in the gun, and I shot the deer, and it was just it happened just like that, and me and Brant were real fired up about it.
Now that right there is a good story. You go duck hunting in the morning and didn't see the ducks, and then so you decided to just walk out in the field and that buck was just waiting on you.
Yes, sir. It was a good morning.
That's a good story there. And speaking of fishing and all, check out this. This is big bass right here. Tell us about that.
Yes, sir. That was actually, I think that right there was in the middle of February, which I like to fish that time of year because the bass are, pre-spawn, getting fat, full of eggs and everything. So, and that was up there in one of our farm ponds. It was me, Brant, and David Bender on that one.
Yeah.
And, that was a really big fish. I was happy to catch that one.
How much that one weigh?
We didn't have a scale on the boat, but
Don't let them go, don't you?
Yes, sir. Yeah. We let that fish go. I think I would say anywhere around 8 pounds.
Yeah, that looks like a nice 8-pounder. Big thing about that. That pond there it's got some good fresh water in it, doesn't it? Good stream.
Yes, sir. It's actually spring fed.
Spring fed, yeah.
So it's always full of water. It's good, clean water. It's got a lot of fish in it.
And what did you say? What did you catch them on?
I caught that one on a crawfish colored chatterbait.
All right, you always remember those things. And the last picture here, see if we can get that one there, Jeff. Scoot it over a little bit. All right, so tell us about this one.
That one right there, I caught that one at the farm too, and it was me and my brother. I remember my dad had been on the tractor working all day long, and me and Brandon had just been pond hopping and stuff, and before that fish, we'd always just caught little pound and a half, little just keeper bass, never really anything any big. And I remember I was throwing a spinnerbait, and I thought I was hung up on grass. Me and Brant were fishing right there next to each other, and fish came up, jumped up out of the water, and I looked at him, and he looked at me, and we were just in shock. But that was a good fish.
And that's some great pictures and all. So your past has been dotted with a lot of successful hunts and fishing, and now let's talk about the present. We'll talk about the past. We'll talk about the present, and later on we're going to talk about the future. That's why y'all are 18 years old, and your senior year in high school. Y'all having a good senior year so far, Hannah?
It's been a great year. I'm really excited for the rest of it.
Yeah. This big week at Mosley, homecoming, had a parade yesterday. We had Fantasia Monday, and we got a ball game Friday night. And you excited about that?
I'm really excited. I'm ready to see all the pretty girls in their dresses.
Yeah, that's always special. Homecoming is. Harris, how's the year going so far with you?
Yeah, it's going good. Being an outdoor Red's always making everything better.
Well,
that's true.
That's true too. We do enjoy that. I have to admit. Now, we're looking at it in about 2 weeks. I think we're going to wrap up our first 9 weeks and realize y'all's senior year will be 1/4 of the way over. Is it? Did he just get here?
It's crazy how fast it was.
Do your moms, especially moms, have? And I find myself even as a grandparent now, telling you that you've grown up so fast. I mean,
My mom cries about it almost every night.
Okay, you have any brothers and sisters, or? I
do. Well, I have 2 older brothers, Josh Harbuck, who you know.
Yeah.
And John Stevens. He actually went to Mosley, but he's in Alabama now. So.
Okay. And of course you?
Yeah, I got my brother Brant. He's my older brother, and I got a little sister Lindsay, and she's more of a dancer than anything. She doesn't get outside much, but
Well, Charlie, you and your brother gonna have to take her in a boat, just let her dance a little bit in the boat, and fish and dance a little bit, and maybe even dance in a tree stand. But
we might be able to work it out.
And it's funny how a lot of times those things balance together and all. We're gonna take a break in a second. Then we're gonna talk about your future plans and all. But then we'll come back and ask you what's been your favorite part of school. But let's go and take our final break, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Glad you're with us this morning. Sit here with Hannah Stevens and Harris Marshall, our Students of the Month. First one for the year 2014, our president of the Outdoor Ed Club and vice president. So we're glad to have you all. I told Hannah I was going to try to get her to sing, but she said she'd rather do it off air, so we're going to do that off air. But let's look at our fishing game time today. Brought to us by Mark Coward of Edgewater Beach Realty. Mark's number is 832-6000. And our times are from when to when, Hannah?
6:19 a.m. to 8:19 a.m. and 6:47 p.m. to 8:47 p.m.
All right, so that's important. You know that. Also, this weekend we'll have the big two redfish tournaments going on. We're going to talk more about the weekend, but on October the 11th now, we've had Jeff Baldorf on here about a week or so ago for his memorial tournament for his daughter, the Elizabeth Baldorf Memorial Tournament, and that's October the 11th. It's going to be down in St. Andrew, and we'll, of course, talk more about that. But go and make plans and mark your calendar too. I also wanted to mention we had a situation the other day, a day or two ago. One of my viewers called. It's amazing the calls we get about in the outdoors. What happened? A hawk had flew into someone's glass window like at 1:45 in the morning. The guy heard it. He got up that next morning and saw the hawk, and the hawk was stunned and was walking around, and he wanted to know what we could do. Well, Panhandle Outdoors can't help on that, but what we can do, we can get hold of the right people. And Gail called the Audubon Society, and they were able to go out there and they actually rescued that hawk and saved it. So that was a win-win story. So always we try to help you on everything we can, but sometimes we can't do all that. So now, real quick, let's talk about future plans real quick. Hannah, we'll start with you.
I've always wanted to be a marine biologist. I don't know if that's what my calling's for. I guess I'll find out soon. But
you plan to stay and go to Gulf Coast for a year or two? Or?
That's what I plan on doing.
Okay.
I don't want to leave home yet.
I know, and that's so many of our young people all around the Panhandle go off to a little community college first, and I think that's very wise. My kids did it. Harris, what about you?
Same kind of want to go up to college for a couple years. My dad and all of his brothers that work at Marshall Brothers Industrial doing construction. My brother just started working full-time for him. He's out of school now, so.
Did he finish at Gulf Coast?
Yes, sir. He did his 2 years at Gulf Coast, and now he's just working full-time and everything. So
very good.
I might try to go down that road. I don't know. I might find something else I want to do in college. I really haven't decided yet.
Well, I know your dad and Uncle Matt want y'all to get in there pretty soon so they can retire and let y'all do all the hard work. So yeah. I know what y'all are thinking. All right, listen. So tell us, what's been your favorite thing in school all these years, from kindergarten through senior year and all? What is some of your favorite highlights of your school years as you look back, on them? What are some of your fun things already?
Well, definitely high school has been my favorite. I think keeping the bonds that I've had with my friends since elementary school and middle school, I think that's really important to me. I love going to the football games, all the activities we do. It's a great school, it's great people. So
good.
Very and you, good. Of course.
Oh yeah,
you're my favorite.
Of course, I tell them to say this stuff ahead of time, but all right, Harris, what about you?
Yeah, she kind of hit the nail on the head on that one. Everything from football to everything like that, making new friends, just having a good time with everybody, and it all got better whenever we got an outdoor ed this year.
It is special. You're going to look back in years to come. I know the folks out there would agree with me. In years to come, and you mentioned the bonds you have with your friends and all, those become even more precious to you. And as different people scattered different ways, and then when you come back to the area, you want to see them and keep up with them and all. And that's always special. I still get together with my high school buddies, just like you had buddies, and it's just a lot of fun.
Right.
Now, I always ask my young people this, even in class and all. A lot of times, we always want to be able to, to give back to our community, to do different things. I know in outdoor ed we try to do different things and all, and with the COs and just do little things like that. Y'all, anything in particular y'all thought about doing later on in life as maybe volunteering or doing any kind of things, or have y'all got to that point yet? Or what would you like to do, Hannah?
You know, Coach Chester, I haven't really thought about my life. I probably should, but
Well,
volunteering,
you're a typical 18-year-old kid at all the high schools in the United States of America, I think. So.
I love to volunteer, just anything that could help somebody who, even just talking to somebody, helping them out when they're having a...
You know, I see your sister-in-law on a regular basis, Patricia Grant Harbuck.
Yes.
And she is a sweetheart. I see her down at the nursing home where my mom is, and then she always has this big smile, and always, I think, you know, although it's a paid job she has, she's in a position where she gives a lot of time and a lot of smiles to these elderly people, and I always admire her for that. So,
It's definitely the right job for her. She's always nice.
And she enjoyed outdoor ed too.
Yeah.
Okay, Harris, what about some of
You know, anything that I could get into to conserve the outdoors.
Yeah.
You know, I know we've been duck hunting our bays for 3 or 4 years now, and whenever we first started going, the hunting wasn't as good, but I don't know if there's something going on that's helping the duck hunt, but it seems to be getting really better. So
well, it's been phenomenal last year. We talked about that over, and y'all took advantage of it too. Y'all had some great duck hunts.
Yes, sir. We killed a lot of birds last year, and we let a lot go too. You know, just one thing I see is some people, they shoot after hours and kill over the limit and everything, but we try to do right and everything like that. So
yeah, and you see the results of it too. Good conservation, and people, you know, building wood duck boxes and things like that, and that's really good. And these young people are part of a generation that's come along and doing that. And guess what? We're about to run out of time. You still don't want to do that song yet?
I think I'll pass.
Okay, anybody want to say, any special people you want to say good morning to before we sign off? Or?
My mom, my dad, Josh, Trisha, my Nana.
Okay. All right, Harris.
Good morning to my whole family. I'm sure y'all will be watching and everything. So.
All right. And thank y'all so much for watching Panhandle Outdoors, and thank y'all for getting up this early.
Yes, sir.
I'll see y'all pretty soon. Got to get out here. Do something good for somebody today, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.